doesn't like comedians? And I'm sure all of you have heard of this one and listened to his podcast. Not anyone but Joe Rogan. Stay tuned because today's video is dedicated to his life, career and of course his car collection. Joe Rogan was born in Newark, New Jersey on the 11th of August 1967. He began his comedy career in August 1988 in the Boston area, where he remained until the age of 24 before moving to New York City. After moving to Los Angeles in 1994, he signed an exclusive development deal with Disney and appeared on several television shows such as Hardball and News Radio. He began working as an interviewer and colour commentator for the Ultimate Fighting Championships in 1997. From 2001 to 2006, he hosted Fear Factor. Rogan launched his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, back in 2009, catapulting him to success and podcast superstardom. Rogan played Little League Baseball before becoming interested in martial arts in his early teens. He recalled being terrified of being a loser as a child, and how martial arts helped him gain confidence and understand who he is. In addition, he stated that martial arts were the first thing that gave him hope that he wasn't going to be a loser. Rogan began karate at the age of 14 and taekwondo a year later. He won the US Open Championship Taekwondo tournament as a lightweight when he was 19 years old. He was the Massachusetts full contact state champion for 4 years in a row before becoming a taekwondo instructor. Rogan also dabbled in amateur kickboxing. He retired from competition at the age of 21 due to the frequent headaches. Although he made this decision for his own good, he admits that it was difficult for him to shut this part of himself off, but it was worth it in the end. He enrolled at the University of Massachusetts Boston but dropped out before graduating. In one of his podcasts, he discusses the broken educational system, as he refers it, and what the system's purpose is. In 2009, Rogan married Jessica Ditzel, a former cocktail waitress. The couple have 2 daughters, one born in 2008 and the other in 2010. Rogan is also Ditzel's stepfather from a previous relationship. In 2008, the family relocated to Boulder, Colorado, for 4 months before returning to South California when his wife became pregnant. They relocated to Bell Canyon, California, where Rogan had been living since early 2003. In mid-2018, they paid nearly $5 million for a new home in the area. The family moved into a $14 million home on Lake Austin in Texas in 2020. Joe Rogan is a fantastic comedian who also uses his podcasts to discuss serious issues, which is fantastic because it raises awareness of them among his followers. Joe Rogan, a self-described car nut who geeks out when he gets to talk to other car guys, is a frequent listener of the JRE podcast. He's always had a thing for cars, particularly American muscle cars. Rogan admits that he doesn't know everything about how a car works. He simply enjoys the experience of driving. He claims that the only ridiculous things he spends money on are classic cars. Rogan's current vehicle collection consists primarily of Restomods, restored and modified vehicles, of which he owns at least 4. He prefers classic styling combined with dependable mechanics and cutting-edge technology. Rogan keeps a few cars at the massive podcast studio because he has too many for his home garage. Fortunately, several of his vehicles have been featured in various YouTube videos. With that said, let's see what cars he has in his collection. Here are 9 cars we can see in Joe Rogan's garage. Number 9. The Tesla Model S P100D. Prior to Elon Musk's first appearance on the podcast, Joe Rogan had been a harsh critic of electric vehicles, frequently mocking his Tesla-owning friends. During the podcast, Musk persuaded Rogan to try a Tesla, saying it would blow his mind. Rogan bought a Model S P100D a few months later and was instantly converted to a Tesla fanboy. He compares it to a spaceship and says he enjoys driving it. He's never driven a faster car in his life. It even slows down his Porsche GT3. The podcast studio is equipped with a Tesla wall connector for charging his Model S. Number 8. The 1971 Icon BR Ford Bronco Restomod. Jonathan Ward is the CEO and founder of Icon 44. Restomods and old Ford Broncos and a few other vehicles are their speciality. Ward appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast for the first time in 2015, episode number 678, and then he returned in 2020, episode number 1443. If you enjoy cars and craftsmanship, both episodes are highly recommended. Rogan received his 1971 Icon BR Ford Bronco back in 2017. He gets the best of both worlds with a Restomod, old school aesthetics combined with modern upgrades and dependable driving. After seeing the Icon Bronco parked in the studio, many podcast guests have commented on it. Number 7. The 1995 TLC 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser FZJ80 Restomod. Joe Rogan's newest Restomod is this 1995 TLC 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser FZJ80, his second from Jonathan Ward. Ward's company for restoring Toyota Land Cruisers is TLC 44. Rogan's FZJ80 was designed specifically for his outdoor hobbies and was built for serious off-road use. For camping and hunting trips in the FZJ80, he uses a rooftop tent. In the centre console, there's even a locking quick-draw gun mount. This construction took approximately 3,000 man-hours. Number 6. The 2008 SharkWerks Porsche 997 GT3 RS. Joe Rogan has long been a fan of Porsches, having owned several over the years. When he bought a white 2008 Porsche 997 GT3 RS, he had it shipped directly from the dealer to SharkWerks for customization. They added a SharkWerks 3.9 litre engine with 500 horsepower and 8,800 RPMs, a nose lift system, wheels and other modifications. Rogan says the car is so much fun to drive that it feels like it shouldn't be legal to have one on the road. Number 5. A 1993 Porsche 964 RS America. Joe Rogan claims this is the slowest car he owns, a 1993 Porsche 964 RS America. During the Joe Rogan Experience episode number 1169, he discussed it with Elon Musk. Despite its slow speed, Rogan said he gets a strange thrill from this satisfying mechanical feeling of steering and shifting. It's a small car that's a lot of fun to drive. In 2018, photographers captured Rogan driving his red Porsche 964. Number 4. A 1965 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Restomod. Joe Rogan's favourite cars to drive are American muscle cars. He adores the muscle car design, especially when combined with the rumble of the engine. Rogan considers his 1965 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray to be one of the most beautiful cars of all time. He bought this Corvette Stingray as an existing Restomod to have fixed and customised by Pure Vision design Steve Strope, who previously worked on Rogan's Sickfish Barracuda. Pure Vision installed a supercharger, redid the interior, replaced the wheels and made other changes. On an episode of Jay Leno's Garage, Strope, Rogan and his silver 65 Corvette Stingray were featured. Leno drove it and agreed that it is an iconic and beautiful looking car. Number 3. A 1969 Chevrolet Nova. In this Hot Rod magazine video, Pure Vision Designs Steve Strope shows off Joe Rogan's still in progress 1969 Chevrolet Nova Restomod in bare metal. Strope discusses the metalwork, body design and which Camaro parts and styling were used. Rogan's Chevy Nova was also featured on the cover of Hot Rod magazine's April 2019 issue. Number 2. 2005 BMW E46 M3. When Joe Rogan appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience episode 1229, he mentioned being a big fan of the BMW E46 M3s, to Richard Rawlins of Fast and Loud Gas Monkey Garage fame. He finds them very appealing, but claims that they are overlooked despite the fact that they could be the gold standard for M3s. Rogan previously leased 2 BMW M3 V8s in a row as daily drivers, claiming they have everything he wants in a car. He adores the way they drive, their perfect balance, and their understated appearance. During the conversation with Rawlings, Rogan appeared to persuade him to purchase a BMW E46 M3, and he is now the proud owner of a 2005 model that he found online with only 15,000 original miles. Number 1. A 1970 Plymouth Sickfish Barracuda Restomod. Joe Rogan previously owned a 1970 Barracuda, which he repurchased in November 2019. It's a chip-foose Restomod that was featured on the TV show Rides. On Ari Shafir's Skeptic Tank podcast, episode number 410, Rogan went into detail about his relationship with the car. It was once owned by former NFL player Reggie Bush. Rogan's Barracuda has been completely overhauled by Roadster Shop, which includes a new chassis, 900 horsepower Mercury engine, and manual transmission conversion. His car choices are as intriguing as his podcasts. They are not only interesting, but also unusual, which adds to their individuality. Overall, Joe Rogan is a fantastic comedian with impeccable taste in automobiles. Finally, I'd like to share one of my favourite quotes from the star of today's video. One of the most fascinating lessons I've absorbed about life is that the struggle is good. Life teaches us many lessons over the course of our lives. It's unavoidable because this is how life works and how we learn, through our mistakes and the lessons we learn from them. As a result, everything that causes us to struggle causes us to grow. We all grow in different ways, some good, some bad, but it's a hard fact that every struggle forces us to grow in some way. Hardships force us to learn from our mistakes and avoid repeating them. When we don't learn from our mistakes, life has a funny way of repeating similar scenarios until we finally learn the lesson we're supposed to learn. While struggling can be frustrating, it is also beneficial in a variety of ways. So the next time you struggle, instead of viewing it negatively, consider what you can learn from it and how you can emerge a better and wiser person. Thank you for watching this episode. If you want to see other celebrity car collections, let me know in the comments below. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this video and channel, since that'll help us make more content like this for you to enjoy.